Let's talk about IT certifications. Right off the back, I want to say that IT certifications do not guarantee you a job. This conversation is not about bashing IT certifications. This conversation is not being driven to say do not get them. Hear me clearly when I say this. IT certifications are valuable. They show initiative. They show commitment to whatever field or track you're on. They are of great value. However, they are of the best value when paired with experience. Here is my take on IT certifications. And depending on who you ask, you will get different guidance. And again, whatever information I provide, it is based on my experience and from my perspective. IT certifications are best when paired with experience. Full stop for me. IT certifications can be quite costly. They can be quite time consuming to study for. And here is the thing. When you get an IT certification and then you go to an interview for a position, you need to be able to speak to that. Not just say that you're good at test taking. Some people are just good test takers, but it will not take teams and hiring managers long to figure out that you are whether you're a good test taker versus whether you actually know the content, because you need to be able to speak to those things. Am I saying not to get a certification? Absolutely not. What I am saying is do your research. Research what type of positions are available with that certification. Research what those positions entail and the type of experience that is required. Determine if there's a way you can maybe do some volunteer work. Are there some committees that you can be a part of that will open doors? And all these types of things that you can pursue in addition to pursuing that certification. Understand the cost, because a lot of certifications, at least the ones that I am personally familiar with and the ones that I personally have, require continuing education credits, which sometimes can come at a cost. If you are not currently working and you're trying to gain employment and you're paying for these expensive certifications, that is something that you really need to evaluate as well. And when you're talking about a lot of the cybersecurity certifications, they come with experience requirements. Some may come with 5 to 8 years of experience in addition to being able to be fully qualified for that certification. Like one of the certifications that I currently hold is the CISSP, which requires you have X amount of years of experience. Can you take this exam and pass it without having the required number of years of experience? You absolutely can. However, here's the caveat. If you take the exam, pass the exam, you can obtain the associate's level experience. Yes, that states that you did well on the exam, you passed it, however, but here is the catch. Again, the point I keep trying to make and going around is that being awarded the associate level certificate lets the hiring managers know that you don't have the required number of years experience because you only hold the associate level cert. If you're fully vetted and qualified, you will hold the actual CISSP. So I hope it makes sense what I'm saying, that you can test and pass it, but it doesn't guarantee you a job. The hiring managers and these different organizations and companies already know that you don't have the experience because you will only hold an associate's level cert. And then say it's not, one of those professional certifications like the CISSP or the CGRC or one of those. It could be Security Plus. That's not a bad cert, and I'm not going to knock anyone from getting it, but you need to make sure you can speak to the things that are contained under the umbrella of that cert if you get an interview, you know, and be able to speak to the experience. Make sure your resume supports the role in which you are trying to obtain. Otherwise, you've spent the money for a cert and you're paying for these continuing education courses and doing all these things to maintain a certification that isn't providing you value in terms of employment. So these are some things that I really think you should think about when considering certifications. And I want to throw this in here, which is another unpopular opinion. If you are not currently working in IT or cyber or something like that, consider, help desk roles if possible. Sometimes you have greater chances in getting into system support or help desk roles without a certification. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at least you will be gaining valuable experience while you work on getting those certifications. And just having that foot in sometime is all you need to help propel you to higher levels or higher degrees of information technology and cyber. So I will get off my soapbox. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. But that is my personal opinion from my perspective on cybersecurity certifications. Thank you. Have an awesome day.